What up, everyone? Welcome back to Abigail on Air. Today's episode is so very special to me. As many of you know, every July I take a trip for my family reunion where everyone from closely related family members to distant relatives of many generations all gather together for a week or a weekend, depending on when we all get there into town. And it's absolutely one of my favorite times of the entire year, and it always has been. It's one of those things that whenever I'm leaving, I'm already looking forward to the next year. It's something to look forward to all the time. This reunion, though, I'm lucky enough that my Aunt Sue, my Aunt Jeanie, and my Aunt Cindy were all willing to join me and speak on their lives, reunion memories, and family history, along with about 20-ish additional family members that were also watching and asking questions as well. Some of them will pop in and out on the mics. Again, there were a lot of us in the room, only 2 mics, so no promises. I'm hoping it all turned out well. But it was a very special thing to be able to document and be able to keep these things forever. So I hope you guys enjoy it. With that being said, sit back, relax, grab a snack of choice, and let's talk about family. Okay, everyone, so I am joined by my Aunt Sue, Aunt Jeanie, and Aunt Cindy, and we are first going to start by passing on to Aunt Sue and Aunt Jeanie to introduce their parents. I am joined by about 20-ish of my other family members in the same room, so bear with us. We're going to make this work. We're going to do some questions. Aunt Jeanie, Aunt Sue, you guys want to start with introducing your parents?
Go ahead. Our parents were Norval Pete was his nickname, Gremar. And our mother was Viola Robbins, and they grew up in the Boot Heel, Portageville, in that area, and that's where we were born. My dad was a what kind of farmer? A sharecropper.
Yeah.
He raised. He worked for farmers, and they were very poor. Mom was only 15 years old when they married, and so they lived in the Boot Heel there for about the time I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old, which I'm the youngest of the siblings, and Jeanie is next to the youngest, and then we had an older sister, Dorotha, and an older brother, Floyd. And we spent, like I say, I was about 4, I think, when we moved to Chaffee. And Dad went to work. Dad worked off and on with the Frisco Railroad, even when he lived in Portageville. And then he continued working for Frisco at Chaffee. And he called himself a grease monkey. I don't really know what the title. I think it was machinist helper was the official title of his job. But as things changed with the railroad industry, his job was eliminated because they didn't have those type of engines, pulling the trains anymore. Mom never worked outside of the home, and we lived in Chaffee for many years. I grew up in Chaffee, and Jeanie did too, but she got married really young. And then that's Floyd died young from cancer. He had cancer, and he was, how old was he, sis?
He liked a month being 60.
He liked a month being 60 years old when he passed
Died in
away with
April.
cancer.
His birthday was in May.
Yeah, his birthday was in May. And so then, of course, Dorotha lived to be, 84? 86. And right now, Jeanie is 88, and I'll be 87 in October. So,
I have a question.
Okay.
Didn't Dorotha have a twin?
Yes.
Or she was a twin.
Yes.
She was a twin.
Jesse Ray.
That's not.
Mom and Dad had 7 kids. The first one was stillborn, and they had named her Viola May. Mom never had a middle name. Her name was just Viola.
Yeah.
And then it was Viola May, and then I think the next one was Billy. His name was William Franklin, and he died in infancy. And then the twins were born next, Dorotha May and Jesse Ray. And Jesse died in infancy too. I can't really tell you exactly what killed either one of them, but
I heard that it was he couldn't cut his gums.
that was told, but I don't know which one that was. If it was Billy, was that Billy?
Is what Dorothy
He couldn't cut any teeth,
Couldn't cut
and
any
he was
teeth.
feverish, and the gums were real red and everything, but he never could get. They didn't break through for some reason, The doctor told her to rub his gums with her finger with a thimble on it to try to break the skin, so
he
that the teeth could
screamed
come
and
through.
cried.
But Mom said she couldn't do it. It was too, he would scream,
painful.
I guess. And so she couldn't do it. But I don't know if that's what killed him or not, but that's what she thought. And so we lived in Chaffee. Jeanie married there, and while we lived there, and then Mom and Dad, after he lost his job at the Frisco Railroad, they moved to Kankakee, Illinois, looking for work, and they did find work there. And so Dad worked for the A.O. Smith Corporation on an assembly line, and even Jeannie's husband Freddie worked there. We had other Greenmar relatives that moved there too. Dad's oldest brother, Shirley, worked for Kraler Furniture.
Yeah.
And then Mom had two brothers on the Robbins side of the family that went up there to work too. So I don't know if you want any more than that right now, but I don't want to do all the talking.
No, it's great.
Jeannie, you have anything to add?
Nothing
Not
to add.
really.
So if you,
She about said it all.
it was kind of a short history.
Yeah, that was perfect. All right, Aunt Cindy, you want to take over and share your side?
Okay, I was married to Michael McLean, and his mother was Dorotha McLean, and father was John Lewis McLean. And I met him in 1968, July of 1968, and we got married the following year. Mike was in school when we got married, but then as soon as he was out of school, he took an apprenticeship for Caterpillar. Thank you, son. And stayed with that for 2 years. Well, he did get enough training, but then he met our pastor, trained him to be a carpet installer, so he went that direction instead, and he did that for 23 years before he switched over to marketing, which was always his thing. He wanted to be into marketing. He said it's not in the labor, it's in the marketing. And Mike was very good at speaking. So he did that until he became sick, and in 2006 he had a major heart attack, five bypasses, and we were also informed that he had Alzheimer's and given us 6 years for him to live, and he lived 3 years. We have 4 children. Lisa Stahl, wherever she is, Lisa Stahl and her husband Steve, and Steve's got 4 children, and Lisa's got 2 children. Who comes next? David McLean and his wife Kelly, and he's got a son, David, and she's got 2 children from a previous marriage. Becca comes next.
She was never
Becca.
married before.
What?
She was never married
Oh,
before.
she wasn't married.
Previous
Sorry about
relationship.
that. Okay, from her.
But he's
Where
going
was
to be
I at?
grandpa.
Rebecca, our daughter Rebecca, married Dan Rushbrook. They have 4 children as well, with many grandchildren. Yeah, I will have to remind myself of that. And then Tiffany, our youngest, is married to Brad Dines, and they have 3 children. What was I going to get back to? I was going to get back to something else, but
Because they have grandkids too, or they have children too.
yeah, I did say that. Lisa has 2 children, and Steve has 3 children, yeah. Oh, and that's what I was going to say. I have a total of 5 children. I have a total of 14 grandchildren and 16 great-grandchildren with 2 on the way. Yay! That's all I don't know much about Dorotha and John's beginnings, Now, I remember hearing, I believe it was Aunt Jeanie has something to tell about how John and Dorotha met and how tricky that was because Granny didn't care for him at all.
Okay, so before we do that, so we are getting questions like live from other family members that are here as we're talking, and one of the questions was how many children did John and Dorotha have, and what were their names?
John and Dorotha had, Michael was the oldest.
Which
Then-
was your husband, right?
What?
Which was your husband.
Yes. And then Janice, which is Janice Felderhoff, she has 2 children.
Three. Jana.
Jenna, 3, I'm sorry, 3 children. Mark would be next, Mark McLean. And he has 2 children. His wife has, I believe, 5 children from a previous marriage, and I think it was marriage. And then who comes next? Deanna. Oh dear.
She has 6 children.
How many times has she been married?
It doesn't matter. She has 6 children.
Deanna Kay has 6 children. I don't know how many grandchildren.
And we can talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. And then Jeff McLean and his wife Debbie just passed away recently, but he does have a new significant other, Christine Jenkins,
And he has 3
and we
children.
love her.
And he had 3 children.
He has 3 children.
He has 3 children and she has 2 or 3.
I think 2.
2, and I believe Christine has 2.
2 daughters.
Didn't somebody say they were married?
No, not yet.
They
Engaged.
haven't gotten
Well, not
married,
really.
okay.
And we love her.
But she did wink, wink, say next steps.
Oh,
No pressure, Uncle Jeff.
right.
Right?
Oh, I'm sure he's ready.
He's a hopeless romantic.
He loves her.
So, the story about
Oh, yes. Do you want to go ahead and tell that story?
About how John and Dorothy
Oh,
met.
Dorothy.
Oh. Well, he worked at the shoe factory in Chaffee, and she would stand out on the porch and wait for him to come by, and she wanted to invite him to church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she did get around to doing that, didn't she? And so he went to church with her, and I don't know this. I really don't remember.
Wait a minute.
She can tell it.
She would stand out there. We lived on the corner of Helen, and the shoe factory was just down the street. And so she waited for the time for to get out, and she knew his car.
No, he walked.
No, he was in a car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't walk by. But she would wave at him, every time he went by. Now, finally, he may have walked and pulled over there. I don't know. But she was only 15.
15.
And so, but finally she
Snagged him.
got his attention. And he did start going to church, but he drank. My mom didn't like him because he drank a lot.
And smoked.
And smoked at that time. But he quit both.
She wanted to save him, but not.
Yeah. So that was their beginning.
They got married there in Chaffee at the Assembly of God Church. And
They were the first wedding performed in the new building of the Assembly of God Church there in Chaffee.
Really?
They were married on January 1st, New Year's Eve.
Right.
New Year's
Yeah,
Day.
New Year's Day, yeah.
Yeah.
And Freddie, my husband, his dad was the first funeral in that church.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That church meant a lot to us because we was raised in that church, Dorothy and us too. We went there for years and years and years, and it has special memories for us.
Tell me, where did you say that church was located?
Chaffee, on the corner of Helen and 3rd Street. It's still there.
But they don't have church in it anymore.
But they're trying to start it again, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So another question we have is, do we know the siblings of John McLean?
His
Some of them.
siblings,
Some of them.
Alma,
that's the only
And-
one.
Althea, was that her name?
Althea. Was it Alpha or Althea?
Alpha.
Althea, I think.
Okay.
And Alma, who's
Russell. This is
and Lester.
Willis.
Lester.
Willis,
Willis.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
I think there were 2 girls and 3 boys, I guess. Huh?
That's all I know.
That's all I can remember.
So 5 children?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
as far
And-
as,
And did we say all of the names of your siblings? If I missed
No.
that in the beginning.
No, you didn't say.
Children.
Can you tell us the name of all of your siblings and if you know how many children each of them have?
Floyd Cedric Greenmar, 2 children, David, Michael. There was a kind of a problem in the family when their son was born, or no, when Michael was born.
Yeah.
Dorothy's son was born because she named her son Michael David, and that's what they were going to name their son.
Oh, right.
But he was born a couple months later, so they just switched it and called him David Michael.
Yeah.
So that we have David
My
Michael.
son's name.
Yeah, is that right?
So that's why I didn't name him David Michael, because there was already a David Michael, so I named him David Nathaniel.
That's amazing.
Then there was Donna. What's Donna Jean?
Oh, Floyd had 2 kids. He had a daughter named Donna Jean, as well as David Michael. They had the 2 children. He passed away young. He was well, I think we talked about that earlier, and it's kind of a kind of funny note you might enjoy. His wife Pat she lived in El Paso at the time that he died, and later on, her kids and this other person's kids wanted to put the parents together, and so they met, and so they did. They ended up getting married, and they moved to
Arizona.
Arizona. They moved to Arizona, and he built a house there, and they had a lovely home
His
there.
name Claire.
His name was Claire, and so they were married. I'm not sure how many years, 6 or 7 years at least. And he died of a brain aneurysm. So she lost her second husband, and then she was a nurse. She was an RN, and she didn't work at the hospital, but she volunteered, and she had a friend also that volunteered. And the friend had a brother that was widowed and wanted to put them together, and she put it off for a long time. And then she finally met him, and they hit it off, and so she married again. He got cancer in the face. He had a horrible cancer, and she took care of him, and he passed away. So she lost 3 husbands, but she's still living. She's 94. And she's doing great, and she lives in El Paso now, where her kids live. David and Donna both live in El Paso.
Okay.
When Floyd got sick, she took care of him, moved him in the house, and what do you call it, the thing, put his arm, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had it all there. And she gave him his medicine, and
He had a hospital bed in the
Yeah.
family
she
room.
done everything for him. Called an ambulance when he had to go to the hospital for a treatment or something, but otherwise, you know, she,
I would go sit with him on Wednesday nights so she could go to church, because she wasn't, there with him all the time,
she was
even
in
on
the
Sundays.
choir. So,
And so I would go sit with him, on Wednesday nights, and we would talk, and so it was a hard time, but he was a blessing.
Dorothy is the one that opened her mouth and told him he was dying.
She wasn't too tactical.
Totally surprised.
It sounds harsh, but I'm not surprised either.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm sure he knew already.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. But she sat there and just told him that, he was making plans to go to the mountains and camp and stuff, And she said, well, you're not going to be able to do that.
That sounds just like her.
Yeah, she was practical.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what she told him as far as, how long you're going to live,
Right.
But she just let him know that he was dying.
I'm so glad that you're sharing these kind of stories that we wouldn't have known
Yeah.
previously. But one thing I do want to know is if you could share, Aunt Jeanie, if you could share your children, how many children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And the good news is we have a backup here who has already got all the numbers for you. But if you would share your
Good job.
your children's names would be great.
All
If you could
right.
share your children's names.
I had Pamela Louise. She was shot and killed by her husband and her little, almost 4-year-old son in '93. And then Stephen was born. His name is Stephen Lawrence. Then I had Freddie Joseph, and then Penny Lorene, and then Peggy Renee, which died 2 years ago of cancer. And how many kids? I had
Okay.
5 kids, but
You have 18 grandkids,
18 grandkids,
36 great grandkids,
36 great grandkids.
and 3 great grandkids, right? It's 3.
Oh, 6.
Great great? Oh my gosh, I'm behind on my cousin's birth, so we're good.
Well,
So
three,
6.
Three recently born in
Oh, yeah, I
almost 3
forgot that.
months.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
3
girls.
great granddaughters born in the month of July, wasn't it?
Well, June and July.
Yeah, June and July.
And that
Oh.
also means that there's 5 generations of us
Oh,
still alive.
wow.
His oldest granddaughter is in Oregon. She's in California, and she's been out there since what? She is
She moved
3.
to Oregon. She's in Oregon now.
Yeah, she's in Oregon now. But
That's Steve's oldest.
Steve's oldest, yeah, and she's got 2. Jennifer's got 7. That's his other daughter. What's next? Angie.
Tony.
Oh, Tony, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah. He's got 2 little boys. What's their names? He's got the funny names.
What are their names?
Shivan
Shivam,
and
Rion.
Rion. Where he got them, I don't know.
They're Indian.
Indian.
They're
Married
Indian.
to an Indian girl.
Yeah, his wife is Indian. So what else?
What's his wife's
Yeah.
name?
Mancha.
Mancha.
She's a beautiful girl.
And tell me, Aunt Sue, did you name all of your children? Please, will you share your
Oh,
children?
you want me to share with? Okay. Don and I were married in 1959. Our oldest son was named Don Jr., and he was born in 1960. And then after that came Joni, Diane, and she was born 15 months after, let's see, what? 61. You're going to have to help me with the grandchildren. And then Debbie, the youngest daughter, was born, the youngest daughter was born January the 14th in 1963. And then we moved to California after that. We lived in Illinois at the time they were born. They were all born at St. Mary's Hospital. And then after that, we moved to California. He had a brother had moved out there, and he kept begging us to come out there. It was so beautiful. So we ended up going out there. And then in 1967, Brian was born in California. And he was our big baby. He was 11 pounds and 2 ounces when he was born, and he's
was a
still a big guy. Baby. He's still a big baby.
140.
Yeah, probably.
And 2 ounces.
Donnie and Joni both live in Albuquerque, New Mexico area. And Debbie, I live with my daughter, Debbie. My husband died in February of 22. And I had to sell our place here in Missouri and get rid of all my furniture because I was downsizing to a bedroom. And so I ended up moving to San Antonio to live with my youngest daughter, Debbie. She had no children at home at that time. They were all out of the house. And she had a big 4-bedroom house. And so that's where I live now in San Antonio, Texas with her. Debbie has, she has one daughter born by in a previous marriage than her present husband. And her and Ed had another daughter born after they were married. And then he had children, so they had his, hers, and ours. Ed had actually 3 children by previous relationship and marriage. And then Debbie has 1 grandson, so I have 1 great-grandson in that marriage. And Joni was the originator of most of my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so I'm going to have her name off those, and their ages or how they're related and everything. Because she had 2 children with Tom, and Tom had 2 children by previous marriage, but one of them she raised because she was only a year and a half old when they got married, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so Joni raised Catherine, and she's still, they're very close. In fact, they live together with their families, live in a big house. They're in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And so,
Donnie.
Donnie lives also in Rio Rancho, which is a suburb of Albuquerque, and he has 3 kids, a boy. No, the oldest was a girl, Britannia, and then the next one was Adam, a boy, and the youngest is Juliandra, and they all live in that area.
And Brian has 2.
And then Brian has 2. His oldest is Brittany. We had a Britannia by Donnie and a Brittany by Brian. And she's a RN. She works at a nursing homes in the area where they live, which is Lake of the Ozarks, but they live in Lynn Creek, Missouri. And Brittany works in the larger city near them, which is Eureka Springs. She works at the nursing homes. And so and he has a junior. He named his son Brian Jr., and he lives there too. They all live together because Brittany nor Brian are married, and they're in their 30s, you know. And so they all share a home together.
The girl won't even drive. She won't drive.
Yeah, the oldest girl, and she was thrown out of the car when they had a wreck one time, and she will not drive. So, I mean, she's in her 30s. I can't remember exactly the age, but she will not drive. So they have to haul her back and forth, or she has to get a Uber or something to go to work sometimes. Okay, anybody I left out? Oh, your kids.
I have 4 children, 2 stepchildren, and 2 boys of my own. I have 13 grandchildren, and I have 2 great-grandsons.
Which are my 2 great-greats.
Yeah, she's got 2 great-greats. I have Robert Lippert and then Catherine Lippert, which are my stepchildren, and then Christopher and Joshua Lippert. Those are my boys. Robert has 1 daughter and a grandchild. Joshua has 3 children and 2 grandsons, and Chris has 3 children, no grandchildren as of yet, and my daughter Catherine has 3 children and no grandchildren as of yet. So.
And you are?
Your name.
Oh, I'm Joni. I'm Joni Diane. I don't know why is it that, you know, Viola Ray and Jessie Ray and
Dorotha May.
we don't get called by our middle names anymore. Why is that? I think
I
that's
go by my middle name.
Well, but you're not called Norma Sue most of the time. You're called Sue. But I remember Grandma Vi calling everybody by their middle name. You know. And then she'd do the roll call, of course. She would call you by every grandchild in the book until she got to the right one. That was Grandma Vi.
I didn't know my mom's first name till I was like 50. So. I said, "What? You got a different name?"
Well, I didn't know it was Regina for the longest.
That's her middle name.
Regina's, her middle name. Elsie is her first name.
Well, I guess I done forgot that, but I knew that, but I forgot that.
I did not know that.
Wait a minute.
Her name is Elsie Regina.
Wow.
And she goes,
Never
blaming
used.
Grandma
No
for
one
a
ever
lot of
used
stuff.
it.
and she don't use either of those names. She
Elsie
is nicknamed
Regina.
Jeanie.
And have been all my life that I know of.
But you've never gone by it ever?
No.
The only reason I have to go by it is, you know, is,
Official.
yeah.
Official.
I have-
Driver's license, birth certificate, you
Yeah.
know, and doctor's visits, you know, they could probably call her Regina, or do they call you Elsie?
If I tell them to call me Regina, they'll call me Regina.
I was at least
Otherwise, it's
50
Elsie.
Over 50 before I knew her name was Elsie. I never knew it.
Wow. Did you ever hear somebody call you Elsie and not realize they were talking to you? Because it just wasn't a name you went by?
No,
Because
I
she
was,
kept on walking.
That's exactly what I did.
I don't think, because, you know, it's, the only time I use it is when I went to the doctor or something, you know, like that. And
Even
I
in
knew
school.
they were going to call me that because that's how you had to sign your name.
Did they call you Jeanie in school
No,
when you went to
I was
school?
Regina.
Or you were Regina, okay.
That's amazing.
You know, I got married when I was 14.
I was going to ask. Wow.
I married Freddie McCulley. And of course, we had the 5 kids. He died in '84 with a heart attack. I went for how many years?
20-something,
21 years or
20-something.
something like that. And but this old man talked me into marrying him. We were married 4 years, and I divorced him.
He was insanely jealous.
Oh gosh.
Made our life miserable.
Yeah, even with my kids, and that's something else. But right after that, I married Clinton Massa. He was a minister, and
In fact, she went to his church long before. She played for him and his wife when they'd sing.
went on revivals to Texas with
And I
them.
think she
and-
was madly in love with that man.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I was. I mean, but I love both of them. You know, he had a great wife too. And
Yeah.
I love both of them. But that was. Here I am now all by myself.
Well,
Well,
you never
I don't need a man no
know.
more.
You never know who might just come around the corner.
Hey, Christy, you have 14-year-old daughters. Could you imagine them being married at this age?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Can you
no.
imagine, though?
Guys, we haven't had the talk yet.
Penny was going with Sammy. And I told Sammy, I said, if you get her pregnant, I still will not sign for her to marry you.
Wow.
Well, they went around and, you know, eventually broke up. And I think he went off to Texas and left her. She married somebody else. He married somebody else. They were all married. Both of them was married for 10 years. They each got a divorce. They still didn't get together, but they saw each other. Then they both married again. Had 3 marriages between them before they ever got together themselves. Now they've been married for over 20 years.
And Sammy named me. Sammy named my
Christy.
first child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
That either
So-
is his or not his.
So I know that we've had years and years and years of family reunions, and I know that once upon a time they were separate, where we had the Robin side or the maternal side, and then we had the McLean side, which for us is the paternal side. And I know that when Uncle Mike passed away in 2009, that we basically stopped having reunions on our side, the McLean side, right? And Christy, I rallied like, why? Why are we not having reunions? And started making calls and asking questions. And Uncle Mike was always the leader, the light in the room, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of fizzled, and that just wasn't okay. And so I'm curious on the Robin side, did you continue to have reunions after 2009 and before we reconnected? And I'm going to ask 2 questions here before I let you answer that. So that's one. Did you continue to have reunions before we reunited as a group and started doing these 6 years ago? 2019 was our first dual family reunion. And something for you all to ponder on, which is the next question, is I want to hear your favorite, each of you, all 3 of you, your favorite family reunion memory that comes to mind. So that gives you a second to think on it while we circle back and answer that first question of if you continued to have the Robins reunions.
Well, the Robins in Marble Hill and around, they did. But when we tried to join them, it wasn't no good.
Which, by we, you mean the McCulleys?
Yeah, well, the rest, mom's mom and some of the rest of them.
Mom's
Green
descendants,
Mars.
Yeah, mom's, yeah.
which was actually the Robins. But
Well-
but Mom didn't know who her grandfather was. We didn't know for a long time that she was related to all those Robins in Marble Hill until after she passed away.
Oh, wow.
My
And how did
cousin-
you find that out?
My cousin, whose name is Jerry Robbins, he's Mormon, so they do their genealogy, and he wanted to find out. And after Mom died, they were still here for a few days, and we went to the Marble Hill Library, and we found a book that had our grandfather in there, and we were so happy to find that we connected with all of those Robbins in Marble Hill,
Wow.
and we were descendants of John D. Robbins, who was very famous around Marble Hill, and he was part of a group that started the Friendship Baptist Church there in Marble Hill, and he has a big monument there, but they don't really know where he's buried. Jerry and I both tried to track it down, but the records are not there. We think he was buried in Illinois somewhere because he was pastoring churches over there at the time that he died, but we never could track it. But that is also on Dad's side. Is that our great grandfather Cullen Downing?
Great-grandpa.
Great-grandfather was a Baptist minister and had churches down there in the Boot Heel of Missouri. And so I've been to the cemetery where he was buried, and he had a big monument with he was a, what is it, woodsman? It was like a insurance type thing, but
Modern woodsman?
woodsman,
Woodsman?
something like that. And it's on his tombstone. But our grandma was supposed to be buried next to him there, but we never found a headstone for her. And we managed to get in that cemetery at one time. Donnie was with us. No, my cousin Jerry was with us. And it's close to the Portageville Cemetery, but it's all grown up now. And there's a ditch between the road and the cemetery that has water in it. You can't even get in there now. But anyway, we did a lot of research on that. But
You met several of those Robins, but they would not combine our families together.
we went to a couple of those reunions, but they just didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because
We were invited to come to one, and we had a little quartet amongst us, me and Peggy and her husband and a friend of ours. We sung and had a quartet, and they wanted us to bring our music. So we had our speakers and everything
PA system
there.
set up.
Yeah, and they were down at the other end of the pavilion, barbecuing the meat, and stuff. And they just ignored us. They wouldn't. There was one man that he brought his guitar and he joined us and everything, but they was just, I don't know. They didn't act like they wanted us there. So
Was Grandma there too?
yeah, Mom.
Maybe she said something.
No,
We tried.
well,
No, I don't think Dorothy was there, was she?
No,
Any of those?
Mom was.
Our mom was
yeah,
there.
but she's in a wheelchair then too, but they were just.
It's like they weren't interested.
They weren't friendly.
They just ignored us. Yeah.
There was a certain couple and
Yeah,
an
and-
older lady that invited, I think, us
Yeah.
to join that to begin with. But the other group, the whole group, they didn't know us and they weren't interested in getting to know us. They wanted to talk to their own people there, that they met with every year.
Then one of the men out there at Marble Hill, he wanted to get all of us together in Marble Hill that was related to the Robins. So we had a little get-together out at a church one time, but it flickered out too, so.
We just weren't
Yes.
accepted.
So how long was it between that time frame to, like, when we got started in 2019 again?
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Jeanie and her family that lived here always went to the McLean reunions.
Yeah. Right.
They always came to the McLean reunions
Because Dorothy
our
was
sister
here.
was a McLean, married to a McLean. So she's been kind of part of the McLean reunion too for many, many years.
We were kids.
I just don't remember how long it would have been, but it would have been several years.
So then, in 2019, we rekindled these reunions because there were none at all on
Right.
either side then,
Right.
from 2009 until 2019. So that's 10
10
years
years,
of
yeah.
no reunions.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is that we're now 6 years in and we're still going strong. But I cannot express for me and my childhood the value that the family reunions brought. They were my greatest vacation of the year. As a matter of fact, my youngest, the twins, Avriel and Ashton, They actually said this time, this is my very favorite vacation of the year. And it's not their only one, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
That it's a really big deal. So, tell me if you can. I'm gonna go to Aunt Cindy first because I think you've had more time to think on this. Tell me, what is your greatest family reunion memory that you can think of?
Well, I would have to say the very first one I went to, I was 6 months pregnant with Lisa, I believe. And we came down in a 64 Chevy, John, Dorothy, all their kids, Mike and I, and Pete, the little dog, and we cooked the meal about 2 o'clock in the morning. Dorothy and I got up and fixed fried chicken. We had the whole 9 yards, put it in. You know, that wouldn't have been allowed nowadays.
For breakfast?
No, we brought it with us.
The food for the reunion.
For the and it was held, now I don't know where, but it was a little bitty park. We did I don't even know if there was outhouses, there probably was, but there was like a little creek there. It wasn't out there in that nice part where it is now.
Is she talking about the one at Capaha?
Yeah,
Okay.
Capaha.
Capaha.
Oh, okay.
Capaha Park.
That's not a
it.
little bitty park.
It's huge, but it's a lot of wooded area and trails through
that
there.
was what I was remembering,
But
the
that creek,
woods,
that
yeah.
creek with that bridge that goes over it is a
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
place to take pictures.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Downtown
Cape.
Cape.
Okay,
can't
so,
tell you exactly.
but that was my first memory, but my favorite memory was the memory where we had an auction at Chaffee. And, and we had so much fun, and I did hear some of the people saying, you know, pulling something, but really, I couldn't look around and see a frown. Everybody was laughing and having fun.
And everybody brought something to the auction to be
you brought
auctioned
your own
off.
stuff, white elephant stuff, whatever. You brought your own stuff. I'm still clinging to them. I've still got things. Yeah, I bought a.
Can we do that next year?
Have it at the Chaffee Senior Citizen.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a lot of work. If somebody wants to organize that, we will gladly take volunteers.
We had a very good auctioneers.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that was what Uncle Mike was.
He
in
and Don
charge of.
McLean.
At his
I know
best.
the reason why. Why we did it.
For the funds
Exactly.
to be able to
To stay
cover
in that nice.
and stay in the air conditioning
Yeah.
in that location.
Yeah.
That's why
And-
you held the auction.
right
pay
to,
for-
to
But that's
pay
the only time we
for-
had it there.
2 years in a
Two,
row.
Two,
yeah, 2 years
yeah.
in a row.
And then there were a lot of grumbles, and a lot of
Yeah.
people started to fall out. And
Yeah.
it's really hard. I mean, listen, I don't know anyone who has a perfect family, and I don't think I don't think there are any exceptions, despite what Dave McLean might think. But
He's too much like his dad.
it was a lot of work to put it together,
Right.
and there were a lot of grumbles. And as someone who was adamant that we were going to put this back together, I didn't care what else happened. Let's get a block of rooms. Let's show up at the park, and everything else will figure itself out.
And you did. That's marvelous.
What
thanks.
hotel did you use then?
Then we used the Auburn Inn
Even
when
on
we
Chaffee?
started. No, that was here. Oh, you mean when it was in Chaffee?
Yeah.
I don't recall. I was still.
Or when you was at the Capaha Park? Where did you stay?
We just came down that morning and
Just
left
one day
that same
thing.
day.
One day
Oh,
thing.
really?
So yeah, no air conditioning in the car,
Yeah, of course.
and I was pregnant, so it was very.
If I
squished.
recall, most of the McLean reunions were just one day, weren't they? The McLean
So,
ones?
No, it
yes
was a
and
week.
no,
It
but
was?
it was
We
one
made it a
day.
week.
Yes, it was one day at this location.
It was one day here.
But the Felderhoffs, Jan and AJ, they, which is again the second in line for John and Dortha, my aunt, they had a cabin in Lake of the Ozarks. And so we came here for one day for the actual reunion, played horseshoes, played pitch, played euchre, had the best time, and then we would leave here and go to the lake house, and we would spend a week there swimming. They had a boat, we would ski. That's where I learned to ski and swim. And Tubing, yes.
Behind the boat.
And
Dad
all-nighters.
killing fish.
Yes, fishing and everything.
Did you ever pitch horseshoes?
There were a lot of horseshoes, but they were always at the reunion. I don't think they were
There
there.
was none at the lake.
Yeah, but we definitely made a big vacation out of it. It did not end.
Well, did your
On the
uncles
day
go
we
too,
left.
Russell and Willis? They all went to the park, or the
The lake.
lake?
I don't think it was.
doubt it.
Dave, can you? It wasn't all of those, but
Yeah,
it was.
Mostly
definitely,
your family?
AJ, Jan.
AJ, Jan, and the Aunt Jan's children, and Mom, which is Dee Dee,
my dad,
and Uncle
all
Mike.
our kids.
all those. Yes, so we were closest to Aunt Jan and Uncle Mike
Yeah.
and all of the kids when Uncle Jeff was his 3 boys were young. My very first ever reunions were with Jeffrey. I called him Jeffy. Everybody called him Jeffy back then. Jeffy, Josh, and Jacob. And so they didn't ever go to the cabin. They actually stopped coming to the reunions when Uncle Jeff divorced. But some of my earliest memories, they included them as well. But at the lake, the week long, it was definitely Uncle Mike and his kids, Aunt Jan and her kids, and my mom, Dee Dee, and her kids.
Are you talking about
Mark
Lake of the
would-
Ozarks?
Lake of the Ozarks, yeah.
Yep,
Camdenton,
Mark wasn't
that's
there?
the one.
Camden did.
Mark
Lake
wouldn't?
Shore Estates. Nope. Uncle Mark may have gone a time or two.
Yeah, he was there. a
I
couple
remember
times.
Jim and Willis and Johnny being there.
Yeah.
They come out and
And-
visited, but they didn't stay.
Right. They would come and spend the day on the lake.
Mac and Patty.
And Mac and Patty, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Mac and Patty.
Yeah.
You missed the beer.
I miss what?
The beer.
I miss the beer. I don't drink beer, but I do miss the lively bunch,
Yeah, there
beer
was
or
not
not.
much
They
sleeping
were
going on there.
they were so much fun. So I
3
mean,
o'clock in the
greatest
morning, card
memories.
game still going strong.
Yeah, I'll share one of my favorite memories, but first I want to hear from Aunt Sue or Aunt Jeanie of what some of your favorite memories were at
Well, that
reunions.
same one that she mentioned at Chaffee at the senior citizens, that was one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
But my next favorite, I think, was because I didn't attend as many as, I didn't live around here and I wasn't able to come to a lot of them. But the next one was the one we had here in Cape at the same park, but it was on the other side, and it was the year that you brought your twins. And that was, and Landon was there, so I got to meet him. That's the only time I've ever met him.
If I remember correctly, as things are dated on Facebook, and my daughter-in-law, Becky, actually reminded me of this. That was the one and only year that we changed tradition, because traditionally, all of the reunions are the 4th Sunday in July.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what else or who you've heard from. If you show up at the park on the 4th Sunday in July, we're going to be there. Somebody's going to be there. But that particular year, 2019, we had it in September.
Really?
We did.
I didn't remember that, but
We did. It was in September, and I was so adamant, like, no, that's not true. We would never have done that. That's breaking tradition. No way. And looking back through all of the dates, all the pictures posted, it was in fact in September, that first one we had. And then traditionally, right, trying to please everyone and keep everyone happy and following tradition in hopes that more would continue to come, because we don't want this to ever end. We want to continue. We went back to July.
so was that the first one that was after the break? That was the first one in the
Yes.
park with your twins there and everything?
Yes, that was
Oh,
Cape
okay.
Park
That was.
North. And now we are at the new side, Cape Park South. And we have claimed pavilion number 24 as our own, because it's super close to bathrooms and great ceiling fans and great.
Tons of
Yes,
stuff for
they
the
did. They
kids.
just jumped the price $60 this year.
Oh, no.
It was 65, it's now 125, but we'll be there, right? We'll be there. The 4th Sunday in July.
Right.
So, Yes, confirmed. So how about you, Jeanie? What's your
You
favorite
know,
memory?
I really can't, like I said, the one Chaffee with Mike and Don, you know, they doing that. That was really my favorite. But I remember one time I went up there, just me and Pam, I think, and we lived out there in Allenville. And we drove up here, and when I got here, Dorothy wasn't here. Nobody knew where she was. And finally, somebody told me she went to the hospital. So I went over to the hospital to see what was going on. She'd had her gallstone, or no, kidney stones. And she'd had no operation, but they got rid of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember
I
that.
didn't know that.
And I believe that was the night that it started raining. I stayed there with her for a long time. It started raining. It rained really hard. And I was going back down, was it Broadway? And by McDonald's, that's Broadway, isn't it? Yeah. And the street lights were out. The water was up in your
Covering the street.
street. And I hit it and the car died. And there I sat in the middle of that water. Pam started getting hysterical. I thought I was going to have to slap her and get her calmed down. And a bunch of men come over and just pushed me over to the side. He said, just sit there and wait for a few minutes. It'll dry out. And it did. And I finally got it home. But that was the worst one.
Angels just popping up out of
That's
nowhere.
right. That's what I was thinking.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
But Dorothy was in the hospital for a couple of days.
Here in Cape.
Yeah.
Over a reunion. Wow. I did not know that story.
Yeah, that was a long time ago too. That was when we was way back in what?
We ought to share David's
Now, there
little
was one
experience.
time
Which
when
one? The one of
they brought
his latest
singing
one.
equipment. And
And
Aunt
did
Dorothy and
karaoke.
Cheryl and Deanna, they all sung. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was at Kappa Hall Park.
I don't know.
It was one of the last ones at Kappa Hall Park.
It was in the enclosed, wasn't it? It was in
No,
the,
this was outside.
because we did that inside too,
Yeah.
because Uncle Mike would sing
Yeah, this was outside.
songs. Wow.
We didn't take no.
No, it was Aunt Dorothy and Cheryl.
Yeah.
Michael.
Cheryl was a young Cheryl was a young teenager. But
Interesting.
they
So you
sung.
must have been too.
Definitely. She sings like an angel. She still
Yes.
sings like an angel.
But
So
I mean that was
would not
I always
surprise
liked
me.
it when Aunt Dorothy and all them sung and
Well, when you would get Uncle Mike, Aunt Jan, Mom, and Grandma, even Uncle Jeff, maybe Uncle Mark too. I don't know. I don't recall if he did too. But they sang such beautiful harmony, and so it was always like, "Will you guys sing? Will you guys sing? Please, will you guys sing?" And Aunt Jan, I recall it being at that indoor location simply because someone was playing piano. They had a piano in there. I don't recall it outside at a pavilion.
They had a piano there at Chaffee.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, then maybe it was at that location. I will say some of the as we extended, you can pull that back. As we extended our stays from just the 1-day trips, they turned into maybe a couple days over a weekend or 3 days, and now we're staying 4 days. We would go from hotel to hotel, different stays, different locations that we would stay. Sadly, the Auburn, being such a perfect location for what our needs were, was torn down last year. But it doesn't remove some memories
Right.
of
Right.
incredible things that we did at that hotel. Also, I remember staying in a Holiday Inn when we were younger, and now we're here in a Holiday Inn again. But to share some of the memories, and I don't know if you all were aware of some of these memories.
Probably not.
We did
Keep talking.
We did get kicked out of a hotel.
That was a fun memory of mine.
Yes, and
It
Dave.
was the Auburn.
That was the Auburn.
It was, but it was called the
Victoria.
I think it was the Victorian, and you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it had a
we-
different name.
We needed that 10-year break, so they forgot who we were, and they'd let us back in.
Yep.
May I ask as to why you were removed from there?
So the really fun thing is, as a young kid, our parents, and that being Mike, Jan, Mark, Dee, and Jeff,
Lanny.
and Lanny
Jim
and Jim and Mackie and
McCain
they-
cousins.
all the McLean cousins. They were younger than I am now. They were probably in their 30s, 40s, 30s,
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably 30,
And-
38, 39.
Maybe, and then them having young kids, all of us, right? Other McLean cousins.
So how young
And-
were you? And
Still in
Okay,
grade
but-
school.
I was like 11.
so
Yeah,
young.
Oh,
probably.
young, yeah.
Yes, for sure. If Becca was 11, then I don't even know how old you are now. So I don't know what our
I'm
difference
older
is.
than 50.
I am 50. So
I'm not telling you how.
okay, so I was younger than her.
Well, I'll tell you, she's 53.
Okay, 3 years younger. So if she was 11, then yeah, I was around 8. And we had free reign in the hotel because our parents were playing cards and did not care what we did as long as we were safe, meaning we didn't take off outside of the hotel. But I will admit that there were times that we would hotel hop. And this was before locks on swimming pool doors.
Yeah.
So it was nothing for us to walk across the street and just go swimming at another pool for a while.
How are they going to know who we were?
They had no idea. So we would just, there was like a group of 3 of them, I believe, and we would go from hotel to hotel. We'd play games in different hotels. One of them had an elevator. I remember Sheila getting stuck in the elevator. And I was like, I'm too afraid to go in there. I can't save you. And but our parents were equally creating fun
Havoc.
memories.
Yes.
Havoc, fun. By having too much to drink and ending up with pool furniture in the swimming pool.
In the pool.
With people on
With
them.
Mark on top
And
of
the
it. Yeah.
furniture all
Sometimes-
in the rooms they took out.
All
to
the
make room
furniture
for
out,
card
yes.
tables.
Like they would kick us out of the
They
main
took the
lobby
beds
area.
out of the room.
And so, wanting
put
to
them in the
carry
hallway.
on with cards, they would just remove the furniture from their rooms so that they had more room for everybody to fit in because the beds were in the way. So they just put the beds in the hallway.
This explains a whole lot to me
Yes.
because now I see where you guys get your fervor for cards.
Yeah.
It's inherited.
It is inherited. The fervor for cards is inherited.
And how seriously it's taken and the fun you guys I watch how you guys play. I haven't really sat down and played. But you get up and do victory laps. You do the voodoo dance. You chase out the bad
Yes.
omens.
Change
I
decks all the
mean,
time.
change partners. And
Yes. Winners table, losers table.
yeah. I mean,
Switch change card decks when they need.
yeah,
new
that
luck.
deck's
Yes.
haunted. Get a new one. Yes. Yeah.
And I still bring furniture from my room to have a comfortable chair.
Oh, you took it back, I take it.
Yeah, I was looking for
blankets, pillows,
Yes.
everything's allowed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
It
just
is-
want to say, having not grown up around most of you, I mean, we spent more time with Aunt Jeannie's family than anybody, I guess, because Mom and
Right.
Jeannie were,
Close in age.
close to the age,
Yeah.
and so and their kids are close in age,
Right.
pretty much.
So they'll-
But being a part of this is making memories for me now. I want to bring my kids.
Please bring your kids.
If I could get them all to get the vacation at this, that's just it. Busy lives and getting vacation time all at the same time. And it's
the
trying
fourth
to.
Sunday of July. Just make a date.
And
Yeah,
they
it's
can,
like herding cats. Yeah.
yes, but they can have 51 weeks that they can be busy.
This is true.
And if we can just have
I
one.
just got to convince them of the value of this experience.
Yeah.
And-
Maybe
and
if
it's
they see this
hard.
podcast sometime, maybe they
Yeah.
will be inspired to come.
It is priceless.
Especially
Our
your
family.
other daughter and son.
Yeah, our family is just such a priceless gift. And my son Tristan actually said to me yesterday, he said, Mom, I actually, and even Abigail said this as well, like sitting in a room, looking around and cherishing the moments, the memories, like we're making them right now. And to know that one day we all won't be sitting in this room anymore. Will our children continue?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that there was a moment of the realization that not all of the kids are coming. Not,
Right.
you know, Becca's here and not her children or grandchildren.
Or my husband.
Or her husband. Dave is here and not his children or soon to be first grandchild.
Yeah.
Drag that baby
Maybe he'll be
here.
here next year, or her.
And there's, you know, even what we consider now the elders of
Yep.
the McLean side,
Right.
Jan, Mark, Dee, they were not here. Uncle Jeff was here. He's
Yes.
amazing. Love Uncle Jeff. But to express the importance, impress upon our children the importance. I had, what, five of my 7 children here at this reunion, gratefully. I mean, truly, grace of God. They would. I'm so grateful that they're
I'm
here.
lucky I had 2 of my 4 here.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. So we just need to keep telling them, keep coming. We'll be here 4th Sunday in July. We're gonna be here.
Joey didn't come here, you know, with us, but he was out to dinner. So I had
He
all
did
3.
come back to the hotel.
Yeah.
I think he did come
Oh, did he
on
come?
Sunday at the park.
Yeah.
I did see him there.
here too.
He
come-
sat right
yeah,
down
he
at the end
did.
of this
Right down
table.
there by you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, he
right, I
came here for a
forgot.
while.
I got pictures to prove it.
But anyway, yeah.
I just
We have
hate
all these
having.
fond memories because we used to do so much together all the time. I mean, we went tubing together. I remember we'd leave here, go tubing, go kayaking or canoeing.
Canoeing.
We did all kinds of things all the time.
But
And
it's hard
it
for-
was a lot
This generation to do that nowadays.
because they don't like going outside.
Yeah.
That's not true. My kids are gonna do it, period.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it.
But
We're gonna make that
it's a
happen.
different world though. You can't trust the world like we did when we were kids.
I don't know that it's that much different. I think it's how we approach it.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing it. Just
Maybe.
keep
Yeah.
doing the things.
Well, we're made to go to school. Why can't we make this a rule to come to reunion?
I love it.
I mean, school is 9 months out of a year. This is only, you know.
Part of a week or whatever you.
Weekend.
Right.
Otherwise, it becomes the funerals
Yeah.
for the reunion.
And I don't want to see people at funerals. I'd rather see them live and talk to them.
I agree.
And
we've
that's
lost a
something, you
lot of
never know, you
people.
know, who's gonna be gone this time next year.
Right, right.
You know.
Well, it won't be you.
That's not allowed.
Not you.
Yeah.
That is not allowed.
It is not allowed.
Well, we know we won't live forever, and we're both
Right.
up in our late 80s, so we're going to enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, I'll be here if I can.
I would love any stories that anybody has that they want to share, or any questions that you all may have. I would love to open it up. Feel free to walk over to a mic, pull it towards you. Please share a story, whether it be a reunion story, a family story, something we may not know. I would love to hear some
I ain't got any
family
stories.
history.
Just introduce yourself
do.
first. That's all I
Introduce
ask. Introduce yourself before you share a story if you have
Okay.
one.
I know that David's got a story, if he will share it. It happened to him.
That isn't my favorite memory though.
Oh, I know. We don't care.
Share.
Come sit in my
He
seat.
almost wasn't here, but by the grace of God, he is here. Now, go ahead.
I told my wife I was gonna outlive her, so I'm gonna be here.
So tell the
Yeah,
story.
get over here. You can have my seat.
I ain't
I
gonna
wanna-
say that story though. My
Yes, you
favorite
are.
memory.
I wanna hear your favorite memory.
Or you could sing a song like your dad would do.
Nobody wants to hear that song.
Okay.
David McLean is my name. Dad, Michael McLean. Mom, Cynthia. My favorite memory from the reunion times were, there's a lot, but my favoriteest was the time we all went tubing and we rented a bunch of little cabins at a park. Sheila and Aaron
There's a Steelville.
at Steelville.
Yeah.
Yep. We just had a blast.
That is my favorite memory.
I think we was there 3 days, I believe. But I mean, it was a lot of the family there that time. I can't remember how many was there, but boy, there was a bunch.
There was.
You and Dan were just
Yeah.
recently married,
Yeah.
so whatever year that was. You
91.
91, yeah. It was a blast. That was awesome.
So about how old were you then?
91, I would have been,
You're 91?
no, 19.
Okay.
Just at the age to be honorary.
Oh, that's plenty ornery.
Tell the story of Sheila. Sheila with the football. That was then.
With the football.
That there
I
was
don't
a
remember
group
that.
of Christian kids came in on a bus and they were staying there too in the barracks part, and they were playing football. And Sheila decided that she wanted to join. She runs over there and grabs the football and starts running, and then she starts petting the football.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, she acted like she was crazy. The kids were freaking out. The camp
Did not
counselor was
remember
going,
that.
"What is
Wow.
going on?" She sit down with Indian style and just started petting the ball.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
hilarious.
What'd they all do,
remember
just
that.
stop and look at her?
Wouldn't you?
I don't remember, but it sounds accurate.
Oh, man, it was so good.
What'd the rest of them do, just stop and look at her?
Yeah, they were all like, Sheila,
They were scared of her.
Sheila could pull crazy good.
Yeah.
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 She looked demonic, even though she wasn't demonic, but she was trying to be. It was great.
Yeah.
She knew how to control a room. We'll say that.
Yeah.
She knew how to control a room.
That was my favorite.
Yes.
Mine.
How about you, Beck? You
That's
said that
that's the same
same favorite memory.
favorite memory.
Anybody else want to share? No.
Okay, I don't have
Where's
reunion
she?
stories.
But
Get over here.
I agree.
Because you
Totally.
just joined
I
the
don't
family a
have-
couple days ago.
So my favorite memories are in Texas. When we went and visited,
Who were you?
I'm nobody.
No, you have to tell me.
No, I'm not.
She wants you to sit
So-
down there by
No,
the
I don't want to
microphone.
sit down. So I'm Christy. I'm Penny's daughter, Jeannie's granddaughter. And we went to Texas. And those are my memories. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to cry. I don't know why.
That's the age.
Being with Grandpa Pete and Grandma Vi. Grandpa Pete took me to the publishing house. Sorry, I'm trying to calm down.
No, you're fine.
He took me to the publishing house and would walk me around. I was in 3rd grade, and learn what he did at the publishing house. And I met a guy named Nacho that taught me Spanish. Yeah, he taught me Spanish, and I never forgot that man. He said, "You're never gonna forget me because my name is Nacho," and I'm like, I never have since I was in 3rd grade. And going to school there and meeting some really, different people than what I was used to in Marble Hill. And then Christmas when we got all of our Teddy Ruxpins and beboppers and all that, and I killed one of Uncle Don's puppies.
Our dog had puppies and she stepped on one of them.
I was squatting down, petting one, and one got under my heel, and I didn't know it, and Uncle Don never let me live that down.
Oh, you just have a thing with killing animals?
Yeah, I
First
guess.
a puppy, then a frog,
A
then a
frog, yeah.
grasshopper.
I don't know why I'm getting emotional.
You are your mother's daughter.
Yeah. But those are some of mine. Living with Grandma Vi. I got to live with Grandma Vi. And her pecan pie. Yes.
Did your grandpa ever take you through the tunnel that goes over to the publishing house?
No, he never did that. No, and I learned to roller skate over there too because I roller skated on their big patio. and I always had to empty my skates out for scorpions.
Yeah.
But I did chase roadrunners and tumbleweeds and
Grandpa Pete loved a good ghost story.
yeah.
Did he not?
Yeah.
But I loved him. But I remember him smoking while he was on his oxygen tank, and I always thought we were gonna blow up too.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I remember him
Valid.
smoking.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Dad
he
didn't
did.
smoke.
No, he never did.
He didn't smoke.
No.
Who was smoking
No.
around him? I thought somebody thought it was him.
No.
I remember somebody with an oxygen tank smoking. I don't
wasn't
remember
Dad
who it was.
because he quit when he was young.
Yeah,
he
way
was,
back.
Okay, well maybe that's just a
he
memory
ended
that
in the
was stuck in there.
hospital with typhoid fever or something like that, and he didn't
But
smoke after
those
that.
are my. I mean, I have a lot of family reunion memories.
And we
but
could
most of
tell a
you guys-
lot of stories about Grandpa Pete.
Yeah. But I mean, Grandma Vi, she told me, we played cards with her all the time and lived with her. You learned a lot.
She loved to play.
Chinese checkers.
Yeah, she loved to play with the
Rummy.
grandkids.
Rummy.
Any of the
No.
games.
Rami was the.
Robbie.
Yeah, and one of my favorite memories of her when she was older, we went to church. She would call all the little kids woodpecker. What would she call them? Ornery
Peckerheads.
peckerheads. Right in the middle of church.
You on Pecker?
We were destined for some kind of crazy in our family.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cry.
No, it's honestly, it's all very emotional. These are our memories, right? They're so beautiful and wonderful, and I would hope that this could go on and on and on forever, because the stories are priceless gems that we want to cling to, and we're already an hour and 10 minutes in, and it seemed to fly by as we just traveled through memory lane. And I know there's a million more stories, so I would love to be able to do this again and again, like Steve just said. Like, let's do this again. I would love for this to become a tradition as well, because the stories that you could tell that we would never know, we would love to hear them all. So, well, maybe some could stay in the
Maybe not
closet.
quite all.
Sounds like you guys got a few to tell too.
We do, for sure. Lots of fun memories. But I'll turn it back over to Abigail.
All right, so that officially concludes the first episode of what hopefully will become a tradition of sharing stories together. I want to thank each of my family members who joined me for this episode. I love each of you dearly and genuinely am so grateful to have you on the podcast. Now, to my on-air family, as a reminder, I will no longer be doing a joke at the end of each of my episodes, but only at the end of Nightly Nonsense videos, probably. It is my podcast in the end, so I haven't fully decided. That may change. But for now, that's all I've got for you. Thank you all for listening. You know the drill. Like and subscribe or whatever they say. Love you all. Peace out.